So today we are taking a look at Grand Theft Auto 5. This is running on our Lenovo Ideapad 5 15-inch Platinum Gray, the AMD Ryzen 4500U with Vega 6 graphics, our 512GB SSD with 8 gigs of RAM on Extreme Peformance profile through the Lenovo Vantage app. We're going to be at 720p in the beginning and 1080p towards the end of the gameplay test, and we will be using MSI Afterburner as always to get all of our performance numbers along the way. So let's go over here and take a look at our settings. We're going to start off at 720p, 60 hertz on the monitor, but I'm not going to VSync so that we can see unlock frame rate. But if you're playing the game, it works a lot better if you go with VSync. Everything else is turned off in advanced. And I didn't show you in the beginning, but I will later. All of these tests are done with the default normal graphic settings on, no ambient occlusion or anything like that. At the moment at 720p, there's no FXA either. So here you go, 720p. Now I didn't play this game on PC, so this is the free Epic version that is available until the 21st. So you got a few more days to get this for free on the Epic Game Store. So I figured it would be a good time to get this out to you guys so you can check it out running on our Lenovo.
I'll handle the plastic. Don't blow yourself up. Listen up. M, get these assholes in the closet. In the back. Come on.
What's he doing? He's
Hurry.
gonna kill us in here. Leave us alone. We didn't do shit to you.
All set. Phone it in.
I'm calling it.
I know it's in your contact list.
And as you can see here, everything is running really well. I was absolutely completely surprised really to see this game. Even at 720p, I didn't expect it to run so good. And of course we have been indoors, but even outside it does a really good job. And later in the video when we go to 1080p, actually really surprised also. I would probably play this game at 1080p, even though most of the time we say gaming on this laptop's gonna need to be 720p. For this game, it seems like for the most part, as long as you're good with 40 to 60 FPS, you could do 1080p. If you want to turn up some of the settings though, and go beyond where we're at, which you'll see more towards the end of the video when I take a deeper look at the settings, then you could stay 720p and turn some more options on or turn some things up, but it's just all dependent on how you want to play the game. But this will give you a good general idea how this is going to run on a 4500U, and it's actually really good. I haven't had any problems whatsoever.
This is fucked, man. The thing is I got my share. It's still wide open.
Cars up here. Let's go.
Move! Come on! Kid might have failed. This wasn't in the job description.
Get your ass in here.
So even though we're at the beginning of the game, I tried to go through, because I kind of knew what was coming up anyway from playing before, and show you some different areas. So 720p, we've got some on foot and some combat. We're going to do a little bit of car here before we switch over, but then later on 1080p we're going to do a car run, and then we're also going to do just like a little bit of walking around outside, showing you that, and that'll be when we wrap up the video. So we'll get through these 720p parts and then we'll get it switched over.
Shit! Roadblock! Go right! Beat the train, man!
Alright, so let's go ahead and get switched. So we go forward here a little bit. We're now in the city right at the beginning when you make your first little car run. This is still at 720p at this scene. I'm going to show you this exact same scene at 1080p here in just a second. This is where I decided I want to go ahead and switch over and see what it could do because it was running so well. So this happens to be just walking up to these cars and choosing one at 720p, and I'll do a similar thing here for you at 1080. So pretty good, 60 to 80 FPS. I mean, even with fairly low settings, I'm doing a really good job. Alright, so here we are, the same scene. Like I said, I just changed some the resolution over. I'll show you here in just a second. Well, we're at 1080p. Now, we're 44, 45 FPS here, and it's going to vary depending on where you are and what you're doing. But actually, a lot more playable than I thought it would be. And it looks better on the laptop screen than it really even came out in the video. So here you can see these things are all still turned off for us and are advanced, and we do have the ignore suggested limits off because on, because otherwise you can't change the resolution above 720. So there we are at 1080. Everything else the same as we had at 720.
Which one you want, nigga?
You always was old choosy, motherfucker.
Only child.
Alright, so we'll cut through. We'll do a little bit of this so you can see 1080p car driving around through the city, and then we will switch it over to something else. Try to give you an idea of what different areas are going to play like.
Right up here, homie. I'm about to go nice and slow for your bitch ass.
What? I hear you. Hey, remember we gotta be careful with these rides, homie. The Simeon ain't about to dock my pay again.
Homie, man, if you need some bread, I can hook you up with JB's tow truck. It ain't got glamour, but it's some money to be made.
So him and Tanya can smoke crack in peace? Homie, I'm good. Hey, open up, homie. Give me some room.
You want room? Go lose some weight with your...
And you can see her driving through. I mean, no stutters were happening, no issues, fairly low CPU usage, and keeping the GPU side maxed out really well. The dynamic RAM situation is working well. It might run better with 16 gigs, but really the 8's having no problem at all, handling everything here just fine.
I'm gonna make a withdrawal, homie.
You dumb motherfucker. That's the Union Depository.
Alright, so we're going to wrap up the 1080p driving part. Now I just want to show you here again, because we're about to go outside and walk around. We are at 1080p, still the 60 refresh. FXA, I've turned that on. And just to show you this, I forgot to show you earlier, this will show you the texture qualities on normal. We haven't lowered that or raised it. Shader quality, this exact same settings through the whole benchmark. I'm just happening to show them to you here. So this is the full settings we're running at right now. That's what we had at 1080 or 720p, and that's what we're running now at the 1080p. And I'll also show you over in advanced graphics, I've turned on a couple of settings there as well. Long shadows and high resolution shadows. So that upped the amount of video memory, but it was still able to handle it. So we're just going to go outside here and walk around a little bit with those settings so you can see kind of another example of how the game's going to run for you. And really good. Now if you have VSync on and you're playing on the monitor, it's really smooth, absolutely no screen tearing, no jitters, nothing like that. But I had VSync off. Even when it's on, the video comes out better as well, but I wanted to leave it off so that we could see those frame rates above 60 and what was going on. But definitely recommend, especially if you're playing on the laptop screen, you're at 60 anyway, go ahead and use VSync and it's gonna stay a lot smoother and look better for you. But you can see here the laptop, the Ryzen 4500U, is holding a nice steady frame rate as we walk around. It doesn't seem to get any really heavy dips or major issues. It just runs fairly consistent, whether you're 720p or 1080p, and everything runs without a problem, even with a couple extra graphic things ticked, and no issues there. Alright guys, as always, thanks a lot for coming and check out the video. I hope this gives you a good idea how Grand Theft Auto 5 will run on your AMD Ryzen 4500U APU. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Click the notification bell so you know when I drop new videos. Please give this video a thumbs up and feel free to leave your comment below. All those things really go a long way to help out the channel. So I think I'm going to go grab this guy a taco from the stand over here and get back to work on something else, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.